The share play with actual textures.
But I'm actually gonna hop off and go to bed. I'm like falling asleep. I only got like 2 hours of sleep last night. And I slept through my alarm for work, so I was about a half hour late for work.
How'd that go?
Yeah, my boss didn't care.
You don't understand.
That's good, no?
He's like, I was like, I don't care. And I was like, as long as you don't make it a habit. And I was like, you know, I mean, I started a month ago, and it's like, I've been here like 5-10 minutes before I'm supposed to start anyways. He's like, yeah, I noticed. And there's like, I was like, kind of makes up for yesterday. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you worked a half hour later yesterday. And I was like, yeah, I was trying to get all that Tesla parts all labeled and stuff, so I wouldn't have to worry about doing it in the morning and then trying to find room and put it all away.
That's nice.
He's like, yeah. Because he wasn't sure how it's going to turn out. Because my boss is the regional manager right now because our shop manager left. He went to a different company. So our regional manager is kind of like overseeing things. He just wants to make sure everything's going smoothly because he's filling in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that way he knows what's going on.
Him if it goes shit show.
That way, and if the new shop manager comes, he can be like, okay, this is what's going on, this is what projects we have, these are my best employees, these are my reliable employees, you know what I mean? Shit like that.
Alright, bud, well, hit the hay, man. You got work tomorrow, I guess.
No, I don't. I have my Pathfinder session tomorrow, but I don't know if it's going to be going, because I have 2 players that canceled. I got one that hasn't responded if he's good or not. So there's some like late.
Is it a 5-man?
No, I have my buddy, his wife, our mutual friend, Cameron, and Tom. So there's 5 people. But then my buddy, he runs a cohort, which is like a follower in a way. So that follower is a level behind them. So it's really like six players, really.
Or a 5-man with a GM player.
He controls the player. That's the follower.
Know, but it's the same as a 5-man with a GM player.
Yeah. And then I had 2 other people playing. They dropped out. One of them's thinking about returning, and then I got 1 player who's interested in joining. So I'm like,
If you had 2 players that can't make it, I don't know. I would think the other 3 would say, no, let's wait for the session.
Well, 3 plus the cohort, because the cohort is their healer. So I would just have to dumb shit down, because I have it set up for 5 people.
In my groups, usually, if 1 can't make it, we soldier on. If 2, nah, we just reschedule the group. Unless nothing's happening. Unless nothing's happening, and we call it GM.
There's really not much happening. It's mostly just role play at this point right now.
Yeah, then we tell the GM that we role play and we're just gonna catch a cart ahead, and we just fell asleep in the cart.
Yeah.
And everything was safe. It was safe passage. And
like
the GM says, "All right, you gotta pay 100 gold each."
They fell asleep on the ship or something because it's a pirate thing.
And you got to pay 100 gold for safe passage. You know, charge them a little something, whatever, because they couldn't make it.
Well, the one I have a good reason for him. He's working on the new ship that they just got. So.
All right, then he's just busy. You don't need to explain him a storyline.
Yeah, because my one buddy, he's like, I want a new ship, because the problem with Pathfinder is once a ship is built, there's certain modifications that you cannot put on. Because for you to put it on, you have to take your ship back to port. They gotta disassemble your ship and rebuild your ship,
which is easier just to start from a whole new ship.
It is it's doable, but the problem is like it's gonna cost you the normal amount of ship or the normal amount of money for the ship.
It's easier just to rebuild a new ship with the modifications already in it.
So for them to disassemble their current ship would take 10 days because it's 1,000 gold. It's 1 day for every 1,000 gold. So that's 10 days. And then to rebuild it is another 10 days. And then for the modifications they want is another 6,000 gold. So they're looking about almost
26,000 gold. 26,000
Yeah.
gold is what you just said.
Yeah, which is going to take them 26 days, which is almost a month.
A full real world month, yeah.
Yeah, in game. So it's like, I don't know how they're going to do that. It's possible to do that, but at the same time,
it's
they
easy.
don't.
It's easy. If that player is down and he's going to be continuing to do that for this session, make a travel section for these guys that takes a week or two that you can do in storyline. Like, all right, this storyline has passed this week, or this trip was plagued by broken wheels and it took you 2 weeks to get here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make up the time through stupid adult chat. To anyone who's calculating that, which I don't think any player's ever keeping track. But there's always fucking one that'll try to break meta. So you better make sure you explain that shit through just adult chat at the beginning of each match. Like, alright, you guys all left over here, blah, blah, blah. You guys transfer in here. That's going to take X amount of time. You're a creative guy. You'll find a way to throw it in.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I have one player right now who's in this game. He wants to create not an army of undead, but a undead group where he can make them intelligent. And I was like, there's really no way to make an intelligent undead. There's only one loophole, and it's a headband of intelligence that gives you intelligence. It doesn't matter what creature you put it on, it gives them intelligence.
Except for there's a loophole there too. Dead creature is not a creature. Something that has no mind can't be given a mind.
Well, in Pathfinder, they still can treat creatures, but they give them the mindless template.
That's what I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
In this, you can't give a mind to something that doesn't have a mind. A dead brain is a dead brain, regardless. You can't put a new brain in there. So by putting a thing on it, all you do is just make an endless zombie that just sits there and doesn't do anything.
Because I did some digging into it, and I found a lot of people did it, and a lot of GMs approve it. But the way they went about it is like, okay, you can put the headband on them, but yes, it gives them intelligence, but it gives them, say, like 2 intelligence. So it has animal intelligence. So they can only do simple commands. Simple commands like
The problem
go,
with that is,
sit.
when you
You know what I
animate
mean?
a corpse, you animate something that has 0 intelligence. That means it still has 0 intelligence. 0 times 0, 0 plus 0. No matter how you do 0, it's always 0. So you cannot give intelligence to something that's 0. That's my thing about it. Is math don't lie.
Yeah.
Now,
But the thing in
if they
Pathfinder,
say-
they're not multiplying intelligence, they're adding, so it's still 0 plus 2 is 2, you know what I mean? That's how they do it.
Yeah, alright. Then I guess, yeah, that'd be... I would slide the sliding scale, like, alright, if level 1 is a number for giving, that's the intelligence of a microbe. The next level would be the intelligence of a worm. The next level past that would be a bug. The next level past that would be a flying bug. The next level past that would be a fish. The next level past that would be a rat, small mammal, marsupial. You know what I mean? I would set a sliding scale. That's just me, though.
Because I was just gonna go like, okay, animal intelligence, and then see where he goes from there. If he's gonna go overboard, I'm just gonna put the brakes on and be like, no. Because I'm not dealing with that. Where they're gonna do these stupid complex shit and be on their own and be self-governing. I'm like, no, I'm not going down that route because this is stupid. Because I'm like,
you know
one,
what? I wouldn't hate on that stupid though.
well,
What I would
because
do
the
is
reason I
make it
say it's
difficult and let
stupid,
them be
I give him credit for being creative about it, but at the same time, it's like that's gonna create so much work for me because I gotta consider their CRs now because of their intelligence and can actually do tactics. You know what I mean? So it's like,
But see, that's where you put limiters on it. You want them to be creative, but at the very the very start, the very get, that's why you set the sliding scale. This way, that it makes it to where they have to put so much points into it that it's just not worth it to have something that's as smart as a horse.
I thought you blamed me.
I mean,
yeah.
25 points later, it's as smart as a horse. So basically, indulge their thing, but just don't give them the giant buff that they thought they were going to get when they made it intelligent. Like, a worm's intelligent, it eats dirt. What's smarter than a worm? Let's go smarter than a worm. A butterfly, something that's harmless, but it's smart enough to fly. You know, you be smarter than the player.
He's gone. Come on.
And then they're going to start coming up with, like, I told you about that version when I had reality alteration, right? In a Marvel game. But I was a Reed Richards kid, and I couldn't control it. So all my friends started exploiting the fuck out of me. They'd be like, hey, set to reality alteration. I'd be like, what do you mean? They'd shoot me with a BB gun. I'd be like, you see how that hurt? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm angry, I want. And I'd have to roll a resistance roll, because there's a chance that I might just blink them out of existence. But if I didn't, and they helped teach me this, to where I wouldn't do that, so that I could put up a absorbent shield and fight back. So I would take their incoming energy, turn it into a weapon, and shoot it back at them.
Okay.
As energy absorption. I would absorb the energy, turn it to whatever the hell I wanted. Like, to piss off one player, I made him go bald for 3 sessions.
Nice.
And that's what... He shot me with a plasma cannon, trying to buff me up. And he shot me like 19 times, but he like did it like as an asshole. Like, kept shooting me in the back as we're walking towards the boss. You know, the big fight. And I'm trying to plan with everybody else, and I just keep hearing Matt say, oh, you just got hit with another one. Roll to reflect, roll to reflect, roll to reflect, roll to reflect. I'm like, fuck, man, just knock it off. And they just kept doing it, just for the next half hour. As we're getting this epic fight scene going on. We're finally there. We're getting ready to fight the boss for the end of this zone. And we're getting the storyline, you know, we're getting all the fucking into it. And this asshole just keeps doing it just to be a dick. So I just turned around and said, you know what? You're bald from now on. He told, alright, roll for initiative. So we did it, right then and there. I was trying to kill him, but the GM won't allow that.
I get his side. Like, PvP can be a dickish thing.
Well, we're supposed to be working as a team, but this guy he was a friend of mine, but he was in a bad way with his girlfriend, and he was trying to be a dick. He just come back from fighting with her, and he's just trying to be toxic. And he thinks he knows more than Matt, who's our GM. He thinks he's better than everybody else. He's smarter than everybody else. He's one of those superior complex. And granted, he's fucking super smart. Super tricky. But he exploits the fuck out of everything. In a good way. Usually. In this case...
See, the guy that summoned the Undead Armies shit, he has a habit of trying to take something and break it, but break it into where it's an advantage for him.
What does that mean?
Basically, he breaks a character that's like basically unkillable or does like ungodly amount of damage.
Oh, yeah, that's what these guys did with me. Because they figured out how to exploit my energy absorption, they basically just set and charged me up for like the next 3 sessions by making fun of me, attacking me, trapping me, kicking the shit out of my character. But because my character was a kid, I could fucking, dude, for the life of me, out of 1,000 rolls, I could never roll a nat 20. That was the only way I would go Sentinel Consciousness enough to be able to fucking figure out what to do with the energy. And by the time the 5th session came up, I had like 22 million fucking energy points saved. The big boss showed up. Just, boom, you know, the introduction phase. I said fucking plasma cannon. Aimed at him, fired, one shot. I rolled a natural 20. Then it's crit check, rolled another natural 20. After initiative, another natural 20. Then another natural 20 in front of everybody. The whole group. Everybody just fell back in their chairs. Matt just goes, well, fucking boom. He's just fucking vaporized. And he's all, story over. Apparently he had a 6-month-long event fight for this main boss. And I just hit him with like 25 million fucking damage. And he was only capable of taking like 10,000. Completely destroyed the entire storyline. I might be off about the numbers, but yeah, I basically one-shot the in-game boss by getting exploited by my friends. Aren't you going to sleep yet?
I'm about to now. I was waiting for you to be done talking.
I appreciate it.
I just didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah, get some rest, man. You work hard.
I do. Work too hard, really. But it's gotten to me where I have the things I have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you're smart and you're military. It says you're stubborn, dedicated, and educated.
Oh, stubborn's an understatement.
No, you have to be stubborn to be military. You have to be convinced that this is going to work one way, hell or high water.
Yeah.
That's what it is to take an order.
Or you just be a submissive bitch.
I don't think that works, though. Because even submissives, they try to run from things. And those guys end up fucking...
Those would be brats.
Well, yeah, brats. Military brats, yeah. I don't know. I think better of you. I'm surprised with your HVAC. Fuck, dude. Come to Arizona, dude. You'll fucking own your own company in 30 days.
I thought about starting my own company, but at the same time, I just don't want to deal with the legal fucking headaches.
Nobody does. But that's the process of big money comes big responsibility.
Yeah.
During a corporation, you have to have thousands of moving cogs that you have to pay for just to keep that shit legit.
Because in PA, we have to pay a business tax. We have to pay a tax on the building we have as well. We have to pay a tax to hire hire employees, and then we have to pay a tax for employees like workman's comp. We have to pay a tax for their health insurance and everything like that. We have to pay
you have to live in PA, man.
Tax on the profit we make as well. Yeah.
There's other countries.
There's
other states. There's other places that don't have all those problems.
Well, the thing is in Pennsylvania, the thing in Pennsylvania is we're a right to hire state and we're also a right to work state, which is really convoluted because a right to work state, basically the people have rights to work and everything.
And you cannot have unions.
Yeah, and then but at the same time
we're a right to work state, period.
Right to hire state, basically the employer could be like, I'm firing you. And they'll be like, why? I'm like, because I'm firing you.
Because you don't meet my budget quota.
No, they could really fire for no reason.
Exactly. Like I said, you don't meet my budget quota.
Yeah.
It's actually,
Now, if they fire you and they don't, if they say, well, because this, since they said that, the former employee, if it's discrimination, he can take that to court. So that's why people just say, I'm firing you. Why? I have my reasons. You know what I mean? Or to say it's because it's my right. You know what I mean? So, what did I do with my controller now? I just had my controller now. Oh, goddamn ADHD. You're cutting in and out. I just had my motherfucking controller now. Oh, there it is.
what I was saying is the honest way to say it is because you don't meet my budget quota is the honest way to say to an employee that you're firing them because you can't afford to pay them no more.
Yeah.
And you can't be sued for not being able to afford the payment of an employee. That's you giving them fair warning.
Yeah.
It's the polite, proper, and the good way to do business. The right thing to do. And all it is just a small change of the words, isn't it?
Yeah. It's basically how you say it, really.
Yep. And the reasons why. You don't need to know that, yeah, his farts stink up the office and that's why you're firing him. No. It's because our budget can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Alright, bud, have a great night.
You too.
I should have expected to find you here.
Don't be a fool, Titanborn. I'm trying to help you. Your hatred poisons you. Warriors are like steel.